Okay, so this section is, can lipids be harmful? So I think I talked about this a little bit, but cardiovascular disease is caused by the arteries being blocked up, and the plaque can be caused by can be made by cholesterol and saturated fats. Now LDLs are low density lipoproteins, so those are lipids with proteins attached to them. They're considered bad cholesterols because they're going to take the cholesterol from the liver to the cells. Okay, so if you eat saturated fats, it makes your LDLs go up, but if you eat unsaturated fats, your LDLs go down. Okay, high density lipoproteins are considered good cholesterol because they take it to the liver where it actually is converted to bile salts, and bile salts are going to become part of our feces. We're going to use the bile salts to help digest the fats. Trans fats can be really harmful. So trans fats are made when we hydrogenate unsaturated fatty acids. So we might take like olive oil or canola oil and we put a whole bunch of hydrogens into it. And what it does is it makes the canola oil a solid. So like margarine is trans fat, so a partially hydrogenated fat. The idea behind those is they actually have a longer shelf life, and it kind of makes it like butter. However, it's not there. It's been proven that they're really, really bad for you. They build up in your blood vessels. They'll cause plaque to build up. The cells can't get rid of it, and the cells can't get rid of the cholesterol if it's there. So it's really bad. You should avoid that in your diet. Okay, now minerals. Let's move. Oh, sorry, I didn't make it big for you guys. Sorry. So minerals. So minerals are categorized in two big ways. So there are major minerals, and the body has greater than 5 grams of those, and then less than 5 grams of each trace mineral. So major ones are things like calcium. We're going to show you them. So major minerals help make up the cells, your blood, things in the tissue. Okay, so like calcium. And then minor minerals are components of larger molecules. So like iron, we only need a small amount of iron, but we need it because it's the part of the hemoglobin that carries the oxygen. Okay, so usually if you have a complete and varied diet, you get all the necessary minerals out of your diet. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is calcium. So the reason we need calcium is because we need it to make bone. Okay, so bone and teeth. It's really important as an ion in how our nerves conduct an impulse, like how our nervous system fires and how our muscles contract. Okay, so they say that women, it's a big problem with women because of pregnancy. So, and osteoporosis. So they recommend that women need 1,000 milligrams a day to keep your bones healthy. Men and premenopausal women, so both. So everybody needs 1,000 milligrams a day, and then after menopause, we need 1,300 milligrams per day. So it's recommended that you take vitamin D with it because it's going to help us maintain our calcium levels, and it's going to prevent bone loss or osteoporosis. Okay, so now sodium. We need sodium to regulate water balance. Chloride ions also play an important role with it. So they suggest 500 milligrams per day. However, Americans don't have any problems getting sodium. We usually get it in our food, like processed food has a lot of sodium. So we usually get 4,000 to like 5,000 milligrams a day. So we're getting 10 times more than we need. If you have high blood pressure, sodium can make it worse. So it causes you to retain fluid, and that can make your blood volume go up and your blood pressure go up. Okay, so there's a chart in your book, a summary of all the minerals. It's on, let's see, what page is it on? Wait a minute. Oh, it's on page 187. So just kind of look over that. The major ones, okay, calcium, phosphorus, okay, trace ones, zinc, iron, copper, iodine. Okay, so just kind of read over them. Okay, now vitamins, okay, are organic compounds. So if it's organic, it's got carbon in it. Okay, so it's organic compounds. They're not proteins, fats, or carbohydrates, but they're necessary for metabolism, and our body isn't very good at making them. So we have to get them from our diet. Vitamins are often play a role in biochemical reactions, so they're called coenzymes. There's a total of 13 vitamins, and they're broken into two groups. One is fat soluble, so those will dissolve in fats, and then the other are not lipid. Lipid is fat. Water soluble. Okay, so here's the fat soluble vitamins. I remember DAKE, DAKE. So DAKE is those are the fat soluble ones. Okay, and the water soluble ones. Okay, let's go back once. Okay, so vitamin D is important for. Okay, so vitamin D is on page 190. Vitamin D helps function for us to absorb calcium. So you need vitamin C in order to have strong bones and teeth. If you don't have enough vitamin D, it can cause rickets. It could cause your bones to get weak. Let's see. So if you read this, it says a group of steroids. So vitamin Ds are a group of steroids needed for the development and maintenance of bone and teeth and for absorption of calcium. So you can get it from all of our milk now is fortified with vitamin D. Our skin has a precursor to vitamin D that when we're in the sun, it actually makes it. So you need sunshine too. Okay, vitamin A is important for vision. So that comes from like orangey, dark green vegetables. Vitamin E, okay, that's considered an antioxidant. Vitamin K is important for blood clotting. Okay, and then here's water soluble vitamins. So C, vitamin C, thiamine, which is B1, riboflavin, niacin, folacin, B6, pantothenic acid, B12, and biotin. I'm not going to make you memorize all those. Okay, now, an antioxidant is something that decreases the rate of oxidation. Okay, so whenever we oxidize, we transfer electrons, and that's oxidation can damage DNA and can damage cells. It kind of causes aging, actually. Okay, so things that are antioxidants prevent the transfer of electrons from occurring. So vitamin C, E, and A are all considered antioxidants because they believe that they stops the body from creating free radicals, and the free radicals are what actually transfers the electrons. Okay, C, A, and E are common in fruits and vegetables. Okay, so here's the little guide to daily food. So vegetables and fruits, a little bit of greens, a little bit of protein. Okay, now the book talks about planning a good diet, nutritious meals. So that's interesting. It talks about what to eat, exercising. Okay, and also mentions some eating disorders. So here's a couple eating disorders. So anorexia nervosa. Anorexia nervosa. It's a psychological disorder that people don't want to get fat. So it's self-induced starvation. The people don't eat very much. They, weigh everything that they eat. They eat very little. They exercise a lot. It could also include purging. Okay, so they say 90% of people suffering from anorexia nervosa are young women, and 1 in 200 teenage girls are affected. So they're like really, really skinny, but they believe that they're fat. Bulimia nervosa is when people eat large amounts of high-calorie food, so they binge eat and then they purge. Sometimes they do this more than once a day. These people are harder to identify because their weight is usually normal, and they're really good at hiding it. Okay, binge eating disorder. So there's no purging involved in this one, but binge eating is when people are depressed, they're stressed out, they binge, they eat a whole bunch of things that are not good for them. Okay, and then the last thing is muscle dysmorphia. So muscle dysmorphia is this one's more common in men. So people think that their bodies are underdeveloped and they become preoccupied or really focused on bodybuilding, lifting weights, and what they eat. Okay, so that they're always very, very muscular. Okay, so here's some points to ponder. Okay, and I'll post a study guide.